Oh, okay. I'm back. I'm sorry. Wasn't trying to be all wonky on you guys. Uh, First, quick apology to my aunt. I'm not trying to be mean. I know you were trying to to help in the way that you thought you knew you could, but um, doesn't stop it from hurting. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. It wasn't cool. It should have been my right to tell her. But anyway, um, more stuff about the gender issues. Um, we did contact the doctor up in Colorado Springs, the one gender therapist. She did agree that she would see me. I think this was December. um, and she explained carefully that it's a year-long process at the very least, and so on and so forth. And some of the protocol that I already knew, like the standards of care and all of that. So that wasn't really surprising, but because it's expensive, it's like $120 a visit. I kind of had to put it on hold till I could figure out financially how to do that. And getting up to Colorado Springs, I'd probably only be able to see her once a month, which would make it even longer in that kind of scenario. And at this point, it's been like 6 months before I'd even be able to even get up enough money to go to one appointment. And I just really wanted to make sure that I paid the first appointment in full, so there wasn't any questions about money or whatever. I don't know if they do payment plans or anything um, like that. I'm sure that they would be a little bit more lenient than just give us the money right fucking now. But I wanted to make sure at least the first appointment was full, free, and clear. And because I'm on disability and things like that, it's kind of complicated to be able to pull that off. Even though for the last 6 months, my friends were letting me stay with them, which helped a little with the money. But now I'm in an apartment that is way too expensive for me, and I'm pretty much penniless, and so it's going to be even longer. This is only temporary because I'm waiting for housing. I'm on the waiting list for disabled housing, but it's it it's really ambiguous for how long you can wait because you have to wait for somebody to vacate the housing that they have to get an opening. They did have an opening for one with a roommate, but I turned it down because it was um, the kind of medication and stuff I take. I feel really uncomfortable with just accepting a roommate. I don't know. Some of the I've actually stayed with somebody in some of the housing for this particular disability situation, and it was a fourplex, and all four of the places were housing for this kind of thing, and two out of the four were junkies. And when they found out that me and the friend that I was staying with at the time had medication, they just hounded us like crazy. And then we wouldn't give them our medication because that's fucking insane. You don't give people the kind of medication we take. Well, you're not supposed to give anybody any kind of prescription medication, but like, they ain't kidding with this shit. I don't play that game, but they called like social services on her and shit. And she already had problems with that in the past that she kind of got screwed over. Um, so that was really hard on her, and it was just really kind of fucked up because we're not gonna give you our medication. So what are you thinking? But I guess the part that bothers me is, it doesn't really bother me they asked. It was just the retaliatory. Well, you're not gonna do what we say, so we're gonna try and fuck you over. You still didn't get our medication. All you did was just, make a few road bumps, but you still didn't get it. Anyway, so that makes me really kind of uncomfortable with the kind of people that I could be rooming with. And this kind of housing, it's all for people who have mental disabilities. So you could be getting just a little bit of anything in that kind of situation. And I'm not being discriminatory towards people who have mental illness because I have lots of that, but I'm sorry. It's just kind of you need to know what you're walking into. So, not knowing the person at all, I just didn't feel comfortable with that. I really kind of need to have a place of my own where I can have. The other problem with that is the state social services or whatever. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's state or government. Anyway, social services. Um, I'm supposed to have a nurse person come in and help me with some of the basic tasks that people are supposed to do that I can't really at this point. And they won't do that if it's a multiple living arrangement kind of thing. They need to know that it's your space specifically, so on and so forth. And I was supposed to have them years ago, and it just keeps getting delayed and all kinds of just ridiculous shit. Like, they wouldn't give it to me because they fought me really hard on my burial rights. I'm Native American. I would very much like to have Native American burial rights, and it's a very private thing, and it's set up that it's just taken care of. And so the paperwork has it written on there, if you have, if you have your burial stuff, like if you want to be cremated or if you want to be buried or if you have, money set aside for your funeral, that kind of stuff. They want to know all that. And I just wrote in there that it was taken care of. And they got all pissed off about it. And they wanted to know exactly what does that mean? And I said, well, it doesn't matter. And they're like, well, we need to know. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, we need to know what's going to happen. And I said, well, can't I just sign a piece of paper that says, when I die, you're not financially responsible, it's just taken care of? Well, no. Why do you fucking need to know that? If it's just taken care of, and it's a private thing, that, first of all, it's because the government, most Native American burial rights are actually illegal. Surprise. But I'm not saying this one is. I don't think so. But I'm just saying, um, it's a private. It really doesn't have anything to do with that. It just has to do with it's a private thing in your religious, historical, cultural thing. It's not really any of their damn business. If they don't have to financially pay for it, and they're not just throwing my corpse in the street, who fucking cares? So they denied me medical assistance for a while because I refused to write on there what it was. I mean, how fucking insane is that? It just blows my mind. So at this point, I just write in there that I want to be cremated and just fucking deal with it when and I contact information of who does like all the taking care of everything after you're dead kind of thing. I really want to do like all the like a living will and all that kind of crap, but I don't really have the money right now. Um, so yeah, that stuff's supposed to be happening, but it keeps getting screwed up. My food stamps got kind of fucked up, and I have to get all that back. But with disability, I can't afford the therapy up in Colorado Springs. There is hope though, because another trans fellow sent me a message that there are therapists now doing the therapy for the letters and stuff over Skype. And if you don't know what Skype is, it's a kind of a telephone program over your phone or your computer to computer. You can't call to somebody's phone. I don't think. I haven't tried that. I used it a couple times to contact Evie in Belgium, but yeah. So I haven't looked into that yet, but that might be a possibility. Depends on what the therapist require qualifications and all that kind of scenario are. I still have a little bit more I want to talk about. I wasn't planning on doing like 4 or 5 videos. How many did I do the first time? Like 8? I don't know. Um, but yeah, so that's an option I'm gonna look into. I'm kind of interested in that. I just want to make sure that that's legit because I don't really want to do something and then get it all messed up. And one of the major things, like the option of doing testosterone in a non-legal way, is because of the kind of medication I take. I get drug tested. I really don't want that to show up on my drug test and then be like, hey, what is going on with this? Where did you get that? On the street? Yeah, I'll lose all of my fucking I mean, they won't. Medication thing is a huge other scenario